It's the Memphis Sports Network, WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, WMFS FM and HD1 Bartlett, WMFS Memphis, ESPN 790 AM and 92.9 FM ESPN.
The views and opinions of the hosts or guests of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the management or staff of Intercom Memphis.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 as we talk outdoors for the next 90 minutes in our 17th year on the air. This is a show that I've been planning forever. In fact, I want to make it annual. It's always going to be Saturday after Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Everybody's got family in, thankful for a lot of different things. But so we kind of rotated around the schedule. You know, I was in the woods last week, so this is not third Saturday, as Frank Barton kind of got mixed up a little bit. We were trying to explain that. Frank Barton is my co-host here. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
And that is the radio voice of Frank Barton and Barton Power Sports all over the Mid-South, one of our sponsors. And then we got, we brought in, I don't know how many times, it's Bonus Wong, as we call it, BW. And there he is. That's his voice.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you are still full from all of the eating and enjoying the family.
There ain't no doubt about that. And then our special guest host is Ron. Switch that microphone over to Staci Walker. Good morning, Staci.
Good morning, Larry.
Get up on that microphone, Staci.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving all the way in from Hardin County, Tennessee, from Prime One Camo. And, of course, we know her husband, Lance, and the boys. I thought one of the boys might be her bodyguard, but she figured with Wong here and Frank.
Oh, they're chasing the whitetail.
Oh, they ought to be doing that. All right, but let's go. We got today, starting off this wonderful show, is three special people that I've known for many years, and so happy to have them. Karen Lutto, she's my longtime friend, outdoor communicator. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. And then also in this segment, we're going to squeeze in the one and only Jill Easton from Calico Rock, Arkansas. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning to you.
All right, everybody get those voices. And, of course, we could let her sing if she wanted to right now because I've worn out the CD so far. I'm now back on the fishing CD. That's our good friend Lisa Snuggs, Executive Director of the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association. I appreciate all three of y'all being on the show and kicking off this historic show on ESPN 790. I sent out questions, Frank. You were surprised at that, Frank, right?
I've never known you to do that.
I've never done it before, but I wanted everybody to have a fair chance because, then I got here and I forgot my questions. So that's part of this success of this show. But I've asked each one of them to tell me a little bit about what did they want to be growing up. You know, I've always told you I wanted to be in the NBA. but something happened along the way. I was actually bigger when I was born than I am now. So what it is about that. But then I've asked them about the most important person that's had an effect on your life. And then I ask them, what do you love about what you do? And then I've asked them for a little thankful note of why they are thankful for what they're doing also. And I'm going to start right off with Karen, because I don't know how many gifts Karen has given over the years, is prizes on Outdoors with Larry Ray or wild game dinners that I've spoken at and things like that. But let's tip it off with Karen Lutto. Karen, tell us a little about, what did you want to be growing up?
I actually wanted to be a veterinarian.
All right.
Always loved animals, still do. But what happened is I decided I didn't want to go to school for that long. So I ended up going into PR. So I still get to kind of work with animals, and I do a lot of rescues, so I get the best of both worlds. You
really do. And I know one time, and we're talking to Karen Lutto, I know one time you told me that you actually shed a tear sometimes when you take an animal and things along that line, because you know how important this is, the life part of it. But that to me always tender-hearted. We got to be tender-hearted in this business, and because we deal with a lot of things. But I remember that. What about the most important person that's somebody that's influenced you in your life?
Actually, the people that inspired me most in my career were my children.
Okay.
Because of the business I got into and how early on in my career it was. I started my own company when my daughter was born. So my kids inspired me to succeed.
All right. Well, that's great. That's the family here at Thanksgiving time. And so what do you love about what you do?
I love the people. In the outdoor industry, the people are what make it so nice to be in. I've been in other businesses, and the outdoor industry is family. That's what it's all about, and we have a passion for something, and it's a fraternity. I mean, we all love the same thing, and we all strive to make it better.
And I'm sure that what are you thankful for, Karen?
Every day I'm thankful for the friends and the family that I have. Not only the family I have through blood, but through the relationships I've built in this industry.
Well, I think that's three wonderful things. And what about you, Jill? Somebody that what you want to be growing up? I don't think you've grown up, Jill. Come on now.
Not hardly.
Not
the first thing. I'm sorry?
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
The first thing I wanted to be growing up was the bag boy in the grocery store. And then after that, I decided I wanted to go live in the woods with the animals.
And you do, right?
And eat plants and berries.
You do, don't you? I mean, you've walked a mile or two, right?
That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. We live in an inholding of the National Forest in the Ozark Mountains, and it is awesome.
Well, I know that. What about someone or somebody that's had an influence on your life?
The very first person that got me going was a guy named Biff Lampton, who I went to college with.
Uh-huh.
And he went on to be the editor of Florida Sportsman, but he mentored dozens of young riders, especially in Florida, but all across the United States. And he got me started, taught me some of the real rules. College journalism didn't really give me any of the tools I needed to be a writer, but Biff sure did.
Well, I know.
And then secondly would be my husband, Jim Spencer, who's one of the greatest turkey writers now working and a good trapping writer, too. And he also added to my toolkit and got me my very first turkey, which took like 30 years to get.
Oh, man. That's why I play golf. When I get my hole in one, I'm quitting. You know, it's something that you try to do, and we're talking to Jill Easton, and also Jill, talk about what you love about what you do.
As Karen said, it's the people, but it's also the opportunity to be out, to be away from people, to be able to quiet your inner spirit and find just the beauty in nature and drag it home with you for those nights when you can't sleep. I am really blessed to live in a national forest. It's a great life.
Well, I think there's your blessing right there on this Thanksgiving weekend, to be where you want to be, right?
Exactly.
With your partner there, and that's one of the highlights of my life. And I know that Lisa will say that to be at the wedding of Jim Spencer and Jill Easton at Seopa. I've been in Seopa. Well, let's see, that'll be 30 years in 2018, and that is the highlight. It will not be topped, I guess, unless something happens to us like that. But hey, I know that these days and time, and I'll ask this Karen, because she mentioned the family atmosphere and things along that line. We are a bonded group, aren't we, Karen?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody's there for you if you need somebody or need something.
Yes.
It is truly a family.
And we reach out to each other, and Lisa, you know that. People might not know what SEOPA is. Tell them what it is.
Oh, my goodness. SEOPA is an acronym for the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association, and I wish y'all could see the smile on my face being on radio with my SEOPA sisters. I just can't tell you how thrilling it is. I always knew we were sisters from another mother, but we have so much in common, and like both Karen and Jill have said, we're there for each other, and we are always willing to help and teach.
And I know that Staci, you're sitting there listening to these three ladies, and you got into this as an artist. And you just happened to marry a pretty nice guy, a fisherman, a Christian man, and Lance Walker. So tell us a little bit about when you hear these ladies talk about bonding with each other.
Well, I grew up in the outdoors. I was, South Louisiana, fishing and hunting. My family was always in the outdoors, and so that's just been a big part of my life forever. And so I knew that, it's something I was never going to lose touch with. I was an artist and came to, become a professional artist, but that part of me never went away. So the camaraderie of being in the outdoor industry, you just can't beat it. It's just such a great feeling knowing that you're doing something that you're passionate about and you love, and you get to make it a job. I mean, that's just unheard of.
Well, and I'm talking to Staci Walker, of course, but Karen Lutto and Lisa Snuggs and Jill Easton. It wasn't long ago, gals, that there wasn't many of y'all in this industry. I started back in the 80s, and to wake yourself and merge yourself in there. I know you've seen this, Lisa, and I know that Jill for sure. Jill, I mean, the reaction of coming up through the industry, what has it meant to you?
Oh, goodness. I can remember days when I worked for Pradco and they had the silver thread fishing line, and trying to teach guys how to tie a knot did not go over very well in the 80s.
Yes.
They kind of blew me off, but things have really changed, and I think women are much more respected as outdoors people these days.
Yeah.
And it gets back to the family thing. We're just all in it together.
And I know that, Jill, talk about that a little bit from your perspective, because I don't think you ever really thought you'd be doing what you're doing now. I mean, that's a long way from wanting to sack groceries.
It really is. I got started writing for a Walmart shopper because I wanted to learn how to be an outdoorsman. And I figured if I could talk to outdoorsmen, I could learn how to do it. And sure enough, it worked. And then I got to know a bunch of people and got a little more comfortable with it. And I wanted to join a deer lease.
Yeah.
And they voted me out just because I was a woman. And
Staci's
then there was one of the major outdoor groups decided they were going to have a men-only banquet. That's when I really got mad and started writing articles. And
I'd have been fit to be tied.
Yeah. I know Staci said she'd fit to be tied, and I know Karen in the industry itself. Karen, I mean, you've been on the communication side and the advertising side and all these different kind of things. I'm sure that you've seen changes over the years.
Absolutely. I was very fortunate that so many of the outdoor writers took me under their wing when I first started.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And taught me the ropes and taught me how to shoot and do all that. But when I first started, there were very few women in positions like mine. This was 30-odd years ago. So, but it was really nice to have everybody take me under their wing and really show me the ropes. And I try to do that now for other people. But there's a lot more of us out there now than there was 30 years ago.
And when things or situations in life happen, all of you like me, when things happen, I mean, that's the first people I know when they come to me. And I know, Karen, you've really experienced that. I don't want to get into it, but that's you're one big family, aren't you?
Yes. If a tragedy or anything happens, this is your family.
Yes.
And they reach out, and they are there to hold you up if you fall down.
And, Lisa, I know you know that too, right?
Amen, Larry. And right along those lines and what Staci said about camaraderie, I often just scratch my head and think, I just cannot believe, no offense to doctors and lawyers, we all have our place.
Yes.
But I don't think doctors and lawyers have this kind of kinship with each other that we do.
No, I don't think they do either. Now, my favorite uncle is a lawyer. He's a criminal lawyer in Baton Rouge. If anybody ever gets in trouble, go to see him because he is actually a Christian and a good man down there and everything. Hey, anybody wants to ask any questions here? Frank, you got the outdoors around you in Arkansas, and I know I've been able to experience more women afield than they used to be.
Oh yeah, I can remember vividly growing up and going on dove hunts as a youngster, and my mother, my mother and dad both went dove hunting. My mother actually was a better shot than my dad.
There you go, girls. Okay, all right.
And people reminded him often of that, to the point that I remember he went out got shooting lessons because he was starting to get a little bit embarrassed. But Mom would, she would always, she really enjoyed going out and doing it. It's the only thing she did from a hunting thing, but she really enjoyed it, and all the time commented about how they didn't make clothing for women.
Oh, yeah.
Back
well,
back
they do
in
now.
In those days.
Now,
and I'm sitting next to somebody that's fixed that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Staci and other
Staci.
ones. Yeah, and other ones that we've had over the. In fact, I will say that my wife is going hunting with me this year because she's finally found some things that work for women, and that's important. Well, hey, ladies, thank you for being on with us this morning, kicking off this show. We'll make sure all of y'all get a segment of it too to let everybody know that you actually did this. But if you want to, how about a closing word from any of y'all as we go around the horn with Karen Lutto?
God bless and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right. How about Jill Easton?
Share the outdoors. Share it with women. Don't leave them out.
That's good. How about Lisa?
I echo both of those and would add that we are focusing on getting more young people involved in the outdoor communications career, and they can find out more about that at ceopa.org.
There you go. And I know all these ladies got books out. They got all this. Google them. And if you're looking for a Christmas gift, get Lisa Snuggs' No Regrets. Okay? That is a powerful CD that I've worn out, Lisa.
Thank you, Larry.
Well, it's a privilege. Thanks, gals, and we'll talk to you, and happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break. Come back. We got more coming up. It's going to surprise you, and I know that Ron is ready to talk fishing here in a little while here, so get ready because he's here. Ron Wall in studio. Right, Ron?
I am here.
He's ready.
Ready to go.
All right.
What a wonderful show.
All right. We'll be right back.
You can find